Welcome to another video. In today's video, we have Saturday Night Main Event results and review. Going into the show, I think we had a lot of hype for it, but after finishing watching the show, what was your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it felt a little bit flat, mostly because of all the interruptions, all the commercials, and all that. We don't know where you guys watched it, but we ended up watching it on Peacock. Whereas on NBC, you might have got commercials in between. We basically just got a black screen for half of every match, essentially. Yeah. So that really kind of put a hurting on the show. But overall, the parts of the matches that we did see were pretty good. Just not really a story building show.
Yeah, I will say the visual of the show did feel really cool. The long entrance ramp with the guardrails, the red, blue, and white ropes. Jesse Ventura being there, and he ends up being on the commentary for the main event. But yeah, overall, pretty solid show, but I do agree the ads really ruin the show, at least the pacing. But we did start off the night with Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn, where Drew does get his win in his first match back since Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, just kind of like a out of nowhere kind of pin where Drew McIntyre goes to the outside of the ring, Sami Zayn follows behind him, then Drew kind of slides back in and waits for him to come back in to hit the Claymore. He picks up the win. Yeah, just kind of what you expected, I guess. I don't think anyone necessarily expected Sami Zayn to win this one. Just made sense for Drew McIntyre. And then afterwards of the match, Drew McIntyre had a promo that they showed on Twitter where he said that is 1 down, 4 to go. So that's potentially insinuating that he's going to take out the entire War Games team of his, or, maybe some odd combination of the sort.
Yeah, this match, definitely, I do agree that it felt a little bit abrupt with the ending. However, I still like the ending. Like you said, just him catching Sami as he comes back in with the Claymore. Really good fun. I think both men, obviously, two of the best in WWE right now. Had a good little, 8-10 minute match, and yeah, simple as that. But yeah, Drew gets the win. And interested in what he does mean by who are the next 4. Obviously, it's probably Roman, the Usos, and then maybe it's a Solo Sikoa potentially. I think that could be really interesting, just because that is who really cost them his original World Champion match. But yeah, next up, it was followed by the Women's World Champion match where Liv Morgan does defeat Iyo Sky. How'd you feel about this one?
Yeah, definitely not the outcome that I think a lot of people wanted. I feel like majority of the people did want Iyo Sky to win going into this match. But it kind of felt like Liv was going to win even in the match, because the whole beginning of the match, and essentially the whole match really, Iyo Sky just kind of putting a beat into Liv Morgan, and kind of another abrupt win as well, where Iyo's kind of beating her pretty bad throughout the entire match, but then out of nowhere, I forget exactly what happens, but Iyo gets kind of caught up on the rope. She hits the Oblivion, and it's kind of like a win out of nowhere again. So kind of the same thing as we've seen in the first match with Drew McIntyre, but I think this one was a little bit better. Iyo did really well. There's one little botch where she kind of slipped on the rope. Maybe that was on purpose. I don't know. But yeah, it was a pretty good match overall. Just kind of an abrupt ending again.
Yeah, it's also worth noting after the match, as Liv's going back to the locker room, as she's at the top of the entranceway, Rhea Ripley does come out. They go face to face with each other. No punches thrown or anything like that, but it does seem like we are going to get another match between the two. I think that was kind of obvious. Probably going to be one of the matches at the debut Raw on Netflix, I could imagine. Or unless they do it the week before or something like that. But yeah, I'm kind of glad they are seemingly wrapping this up between Iyo and Liv, or Liv and Rhea, just because it's been going on for so long now. I think it's time for a new face to be involved in the champion. It was nice seeing Iyo. This is one of Liv's better matches this year, let alone in this title reign. So yeah, I think it's solid. But yeah. Next up, we did have a triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Champion, where Gunther does come out on top, defeating both Finn Balor and Damian Priest. How do you think about this one?
Yeah, this was a really good match for what it was. They had one really good point where I feel like a lot of people probably bit on it that Finn Balor was going to pick up the win. It was after Damian Priest does a South of Heaven to Gunther, and then Finn Balor gets some kind of sneaky offense in on Damian Priest as he's not paying attention. Does a coup de grace and all that. But obviously he doesn't end up picking the win up. Gunther does. But this was a pretty good match for what it was. Like I said, hopefully we're getting near the end, at least with this Finn Balor and Damian Priest feud. It doesn't necessarily feel like that was the end of it, so definitely think there's going to be more going into their feud, unfortunately. But, you know, Finn Balor looked great. Damian Priest looked great. Gunther picked up the win over Finn Balor, and
yeah, this match was definitely solid. Definitely one of my, for just in-ring quality, I think it's probably top 2 match on the night. There was one cool point where Gunther is about to powerbomb Damian on the steps, but Damian's foot kind of like catches the steps, so Gunther has to like even pull even stronger, and like it was a really good like save for a spot that could have went kind of bad. But yeah, I'm glad Gunther wins. Hopefully this is him separating from these two, and we get a new contender for Gunther, whoever that could be. Obviously we don't know just yet, but yeah, hopefully we can pick up this Gunther World Heavyweight run a little bit more. Next up, we have the Women's United States Champion Finals, where Chelsea Green is your inaugural Women's United States Champion, defeating Michin. Very good match. Really enjoyed it. What do you think, though?
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly what everyone wanted. The whole match, we had Chelsea chants. Kind of feel bad a little bit for Michin during this match because Chelsea was definitely getting all the spotlight as far as, you know, the crowd. But, you know, like I said, this is exactly what the crowd wanted. It was a really cool moment of her obviously winning the belt. She came out in gear with her face all over, pretty funny ring gear that she brought along here. But yeah, Piper did end up helping her, so it wasn't necessarily a fully clean win. Piper takes out Michin once or twice during the match. But the ending is probably one of the coolest spots where she's on the top rope and Michin's kind of back against her on the bottom, and she does like a flip over her body while holding her in the unprettier position, hits it, and that's how she gets the win. It looked really good, came across great. And yeah, hopefully we see more from Michin, and this isn't the end of her, you know, trying to get to that title run, because I would like to see her eventually with the belt.
Yeah, definitely she fits. I think she'd be a perfect person to be the next champion for United States champion. But yeah, I'm glad Chelsea got the win here. I think she's more deserving. She's had one of the better years among women in WWE this year, I think. And yeah, I think Michin definitely is showing more. I think tonight is a big thing to hopefully project her more into the more of a focal point on SmackDown in these upcoming weeks until the next draft and shakeup and stuff.
Yeah, it was just a really good year from Chelsea overall. Towards the end of last year, she was tag team champions when they were kind of bouncing the tag titles around with Kaden and Katana and everyone else that was kind of bouncing around with. She did great in the Royal Rumble, the Money in the Bank. She faced Julia in NXT. She faced Roxanne in NXT. So she had so many great matches and moments all along her year and this year and last year, to be honest. So yeah, definitely deserving, and I'm very happy to see her with the gold.
Yeah. And in the main event, we finish it off with Cody Rhodes taking on Kevin Owens for the Universal Champion. However, we did get a notice that Cody Rhodes was coming out with the Winged Eagle belt, which is really cool. Looks beautiful still. Definitely one of the better belts. But yeah, Cody Rhodes does get the win here, and was a pretty solid match.
Yeah, Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens, you know, obviously it was just really a big blood feud. People wanted to see, you know, just something big happen during this match. And I wouldn't say we necessarily got that during this match. It was a good match, but I think people wanted to go to the next level. But with the way that the match ended, which we'll kind of get into on what happened after the match, but there will be a revisit to this, maybe an immediate another chance for Kevin Owens at the Raw, or maybe somewhere along the future near. But I do think they'll run this match back again. But Kevin Owens obviously looks great, does a lot of really cool kind of, it's almost like he's doing the ref bumps, but it's actually Cody that does like the ref bump itself. But Kevin's kind of leading him into the refs and making him hit the referees and take the 2 ref bumps throughout this match, and it ends up costing Kevin multiple times because he does end up kind of getting the win, but there's no referee to make the count. But obviously Cody Rhodes does pick up the win in the end.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I do think we'll get another match between these two. Yeah, Kevin does get the visual pin, however, doesn't get the literal pin. But yeah, this match I did enjoy it. But let's kind of talk about what happened after the show went off air. Cody Rhodes is celebrating in the ring, kind of giving one of his speeches like kind of always does at the house shows and even Raws now. But Kevin Owens comes back in the ring and he gives a power driver to Cody Rhodes, who then was stretchered out, all strapped up. So Yeah, definitely makes Kevin Owens look like a total badass. And then also we had something with Triple H as well, where Triple H comes out and he's kind of like confronting him, being like, "What the hell are you doing?" He pushes him. They both shove each other for a while. I definitely think if Triple H was in better health, we can definitely see this at Mania. But unfortunately, I don't think things will actually line up like that.
Yeah, Kevin Owens does, get hit the pile driver or walk out with the Winged Eagle belt. So, yeah, I mean, really cool kind of moment there. Unfortunately, we didn't get it on camera. So it's another one of those things where WWE was kind of relying on the fans to kind of put that out there. I do think it was on purpose. I do think they wanted it to be like this to kind of recreate the Kevin Owens moment where he attacked Cody outside the bus, kind of do another one of those. But yeah, I mean, that is the main event of the pay-per-view. Or I guess not pay-per-view, whatever this is. But it was pretty fun overall. Now that we kind of had the first one happen, I think next time we all know what to expect more, so there'll be less complaints about commercials and stuff. We know, like, okay, there's probably not going to be any big title changes. I'm going to expect all these commercials to kind of intervene with these matches and whatnot. So hopefully maybe next time there'll be a little less commercials would be the one thing to maybe look forward to. But at least now we can kind of set our expectations and be like, okay, nothing too crazy is going to happen.
Yeah, because when we went into this time, we both kind of had the same opinion of this is really hyped up. There's a lot of great matches on here, but for it to be 2 hours with a lot of ads, it does kind of suck. But at the end of the day, everybody involved had a good showing. But yeah, we'll be revisiting this pay-per-view, our premium house show, glorified house show, whatever you want to call it, again in January. But yeah, this is the last WWE premium live event, pay-per-view, you want to call it, of the year. So pretty much wrapping up there. We'll have our award show again at the end of the year for both AEW and WWE. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, make sure to like and subscribe, and we will catch you guys in the next video.